So you think your home is your safe space, your own personal paradise. Well, think again, because right now, without you even knowing it, a silent, invisible takeover could be happening. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden enemies in your home and give you the battle plan to defend your territory before it's too late. Just look at this number, $5 billion. That's the amount of damage that just one type of hidden pest causes homeowners every single year. It's a mind-blowing figure, right? But what's even crazier is who's responsible.
Yep, termites. We're talking about an enemy that can go completely unnoticed for years, literally eating your house from the inside out. And they are relentless. They work around the clock, 24/7, and they never, ever sleep.
Now, termites are a huge threat, for sure, but here's the thing. They're not alone. They're just one part of a whole army of invaders that are trying to get into your home. So what other enemies are just waiting for an opening?
All right, let's get to know these invaders. Because, to defeat your enemy, you've got to understand them. We're about to put a spotlight on the biggest threats, not just to your property, but to your health, too. We have to start with these guys, the silent destroyers. Termites are a direct threat to the very bones of your home. They don't just move in, they literally consume it. And these are the clues they leave behind. Think of this as your spotter's guide. Go ahead, tap on your walls or your deck. Does any of the wood sound hollow? Check your foundation for little mud tubes. Look near your windowsills for tiny discarded wings. These aren't just small details. They're the first signs of a huge problem. You've got to be vigilant.
And if you're wondering just how big this problem can get a load of this. A single termite colony can have up to 2 million members. That's an army of millions quietly feasting on your home. But the threat isn't just to your house itself. It's a direct attack on your health. And for that, we need to talk about the cockroach. This is an ancient survivor that has had like 300 million years to perfect the art of getting into our homes. And they don't exactly come in clean. They can carry an unbelievable amount of bacteria and can spread nasty stuff like E. coli and salmonella all over your food encounters. And for families, especially if you have kids with breathing issues, they can be a serious trigger for allergies and asthma.
Okay, so from threats crawling on the floor, let's turn to the air. And to an enemy that is, and I'm not exaggerating here, the single deadliest creature to humans on the planet. Mosquitoes aren't just an annoying buzz in your ear. They are a direct threat to human life. Over 700,000. That's how many people mosquitoes kill every single year. More than any other animal. It's just staggering. And they do it by being tiny, flying vectors for some of the world's most dangerous diseases. We're talking malaria, dengue, Zika, West Nile virus. A single bite can change a life forever. Okay, I know that was a lot. It's alarming. But listen, the point isn't to scare you, it's to prepare you. Now we move from being alarmed to taking action. And the good news is, there is a really powerful strategic way to fight back and defend your home. So that's the big question, right? It's not about waiting for something to happen and then panicking. It's about building a real defense system before the invasion even gets a chance to start. So, how do we do that? Well, the answer is a strategy called Integrated Pest Management, or IPM. Now, this isn't just about grabbing a can of bug spray, it's about a whole shift in your mindset. It's a smarter, long-term approach that uses a bunch of different tactics to make your home a fortress, not an easy target. So how does this whole IPM thing actually work? Well, we can break it down into a really clear, easy-to-follow plan. Let's build your home's defense system using this 5-pillar action plan. These are the 5 pillars of your home's protection: exclusion, sanitation, monitoring, cultural controls, and, finally, targeted interventions. Think of each one as another layer on your castle wall. They all work together. So let's break them down. First up, exclusion. This is all about your perimeter defense, literally blocking pests from getting inside in the first place. You need to seal every crack and gap. And here's a fantastic rule to remember. If a pencil can fit through a gap, a pest can too. This is your first and, honestly, most effective line of defense. Next, pillar 2, sanitation. It's simple, really. Pests need food and water to survive, so don't roll out the welcome mat for them. By keeping your home clean and dry, you're taking away everything they're looking for. Plus, the cleaner your home is, the fewer places they have to hide, which makes our next pillar way easier. And that brings us to pillar 3, monitoring. You need to be the active defender of your home.
Get in the habit of walking your property, say once a month, and specifically look for those early warning signs we talked about. Trust me, catching a problem when it's small is so much easier than dealing with a full-blown infestation later.
Fourth is cultural controls. It sounds fancy, but it just means working with nature instead of against it. For example, choosing plants that are naturally pest-resistant means less work for you. Leaving enough space between your plants creates good airflow, which helps prevent fungus and molds that attract pests. These kinds of smart landscaping choices make your yard a part of your defense, not a breeding ground.
And finally, our fifth pillar, targeted interventions. Now, this is for when a pest actually gets through your other 4 layers of defense. You have to act wisely. It's a tiered approach. You always start with the least toxic option first, like a simple trap. Chemicals should always be the absolute last resort. If your other pillars are strong, you'll rarely even need this one. You know, when you boil it all down, the entire philosophy of integrated pest management really just comes down to this classic piece of wisdom. Being proactive is not only more effective, it's going to save you a ton of stress and money in the long run.
And that brings us to our final question. And this one is for you. Think about those 5 pillars we just covered: exclusion, sanitation, monitoring, controls, and interventions. As you think about your own home, your own paradise, I want you to ask yourself, what's the weakest link in my defense? Find it, fix it, and stay protected.